98.73 FM.
Download our app on the Google Play Store and iOS. 1873 FM.
We don't play some of the hits. We don't play a lot of the hits. We play all the hits.
Another one bites the dust.
Oh, baby, no, baby, baby. No, I'm good.
I've got an elastic heart.
I got somebody at home.
What wears green rides on golden wings at loftier heights than the ninth deck of silver-lined clouds, deep in the azure blue of ancient skies. Then returning to its nest, descends gracefully to delicately alight in the din of applause on land where the earliest humans first saw the light of day. An Ethiopian Airlines crew, ever ready, ever proud to serve you. Come, walk with us in the footsteps of the ancestors of humankind.
Do you believe in love? How crazy it could be, baby, stop. Take it easy. When you leave, I swear I can breathe. Do you really care, baby? Even wonder your message. You are my fantasy, my only desire. Kukutekereza nijoro bituma nasinzira, 'cause you make me find love, darling. If you touch me one more.
Right, 3 minutes are gone after 10. A very good morning. Welcome to the 1873 FM. The name is Wildfire DJ, hanging out with you until 12. And this morning, also be joined by Natasha on the show. Natasha, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. Okay, I might need to fix a few things. I seem to struggle to hear you. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see if issues are on my ends, and then we can get the conversations going. Right. It is the 1873 FM, your voice, your power. Good morning, and welcome to the mentorship under the spotlight. As I said, I got joined by Natasha De Koker. Right. I hope I pronounce your surname correctly.
That's correct. Thank you.
All right. Maybe let's begin by introducing who Natasha De Koker is and what it is that you do.
Okay, perfect. I am a young entrepreneur myself, and I am a life coach. And I believe that we all are entrepreneurs somewhere inside of us, and we all have an idea, and we all need to find a way to get it done. I've recently started, or not recently, 2016, we started our project called Justice 4.0. We are trying to digitalize the whole court system, obviously putting it in your phone, and you can access the court through your phone anywhere in the world. We have had our little hurdles during the process, and we've approached accelerators and things like that. And, you know, we've come across a few mentors, and they've really helped us through our project, and helping us, guiding us, giving us advice, giving us places to go, articles to read, which is quite great. So I think this is why I'm here today, is to express my experiences by using mentorships and what mentorships can do, and obviously what life coaches can do for you as a startup, and as well as a person yourself. Because, you know, starting a new company, it's not an easy thing. You know, starting an idea is not an easy thing, and mentally it's very difficult, because you have all these friends of yours, and when you give them your idea, you kind of they tell you, oh, it's a great idea, you're doing great, but back in, you know, when you approach just a random person from the street, they kind of think, but have you thought about this and have you thought about that? So this is why we need mentors and we need life coaches, because they need to keep us on this road so they give you the hard truth about your success and where you are and your business. And obviously this is why we need to address this, and we need to build awareness for our new starting entrepreneurs and everybody that wants to be an entrepreneur. They need to know these things when starting a business or starting an idea.
Why is it so important, Natasha, for individuals that are getting into the business market? Why is it so important to have a mentor? Is it really necessary to have mentors and mentees?
My opinion is this is an investment. It is the first investment you need to make in yourself, in your company. It's a first investment, and this is the most important investment, because starting with a company, you will have so many conflicting emotions. It is emotions of, am I good enough? Can I do this? Am I doing the right thing? Will this be a success? I believe that anything can be a success if you put the right time and enough effort into it. You need to do something that you really desire. You can't just go and start a business, because if you don't desire it, there's no burning desire inside of you, you cannot make it a success. And this is where mentors come in. When it's that moment when you kind of get lost or you drift off your roadmap, they are there to kind of like guide you back on track. And this is a life coach as well. This is why these two people are so important. The life coach is more a long-term person, where a mentor is more a short-term person. And both of them can help you. And like I said, both of them are very important, because they kind of keep you on track. They keep you motivated. They keep you positive. Because from my past experiences, being with a life coach or being with a mentor gave me after having a session with them, gave me the power and the burning desire just to push through. Like I said, I've had myself experiences where emotionally I kind of felt that, is our project really needed? Am I doing the right thing? Am I wasting my time? And after having a session, I feel like, you know what? Let's do this. I can do it. I've got an idea. I've got this brilliant thing I'm going to approach. They kind of give you the strength again to take on whatever the hurdle is you're facing.
Okay, thank you for that contribution. Sorry, just had a bit of tech. Let's quickly go on a breather, Natasha. When we come back here, the technical part I'm facing here would have been sorted. It is the 1873 FM, your voice power.
This DJ just turns you on.
Roger. Frequency modulation engaged. Resume worldwide music stream in 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Здравствуй.
Ciao. Shalom. Bonjour.
สวัสดีこんにちは
What's up, world?
Good songs.
Day
Odds number one.
most awesome thing ever.
This is
One of the coolest stations in the world.
Odds number one.
Most awesome thing ever.
this is
Coolest station in the world.
Right, 10 minutes after 10, the 1873 FM. Right, so Natasha, when we come to the idea of one getting into the business space, you've said clearly that it's an investment, which means that you also need to invest time to study and understand the field that you are getting into. Right. And by investing, it means that you have to pay people to assist. And other individuals feel that mentorship is for free. Would you trust a free mentorship program, or you would invest in it?
Okay, well, a lot of mentors are free, and what I have experienced, I had 5 great mentors a little while ago, and they all were for free, but they only give you a certain amount of time, because obviously they have other projects they're working on as well. So look, it depends on what you need. Mentors are like relationships. You need to go and find the right one. You're going to have negative ones, you're going to have bad ones, you're going to have good ones, you're going to have great ones. It's kind of like a trial and error, but I think if you find the right one and they really guide you, you as a person or you as a startup are not supposed to feel threatened by paying. Because I think when you pay for something, it is more valuable to you than getting it for free, because people take stuff for free for granted. And I would gladly pay for a mentor if they really can help me with whatever it is I'm struggling with.
Okay. And between you and I, and when we look at this idea of mentorship and whether it's a paid up or it's a free one, I think there is time that is invested into this whole space of me as a mentee or as a mentor. It's time that I'm putting in, and there has to be sort of value exchange. And I think if it's a paid up mentorship, I mean, I should be getting value for what I pay for. All right. And also it brings me to this idea of creating order, creating a structure. Why is it so important, or why is it so critical to have order and structure?
Okay, well, the reason why we put goals and we put roadmaps in place is so that we have an end destination and we have a map to get there. We look at it as when you're leaving your home and you're putting it into your GPS, your destination, you have a roadmap to get there so that you don't get lost or you don't get stuck. And if you get stuck, you know where you're stuck. And if you do make a mistake, you can go back to review what you've done, and you can figure out where you've made the mistake. So that is why structure is so important. Structure gives us the roadmap towards our end goal, and structure gives us a bit more calmness, and it removes some anxiety what we are faced with, because it kind of gives us that thing that you will be okay. And this is why I believe structure is important. Structure and organization is very, very, very important. To be organized is great. You don't have to buy expensive books or expensive worksheets. Go into your Word document, create yourself a daily planner. Put down, this is what I need to do today. These are my 3 goals. I believe never put more than 3 goals or 3 stepping stones or 3 things you need to do a day, because as soon as you put more, you kind of overwork yourself. So you get into a space tomorrow where you feel that you've done enough yesterday and today you can relax, which is not good for you, because that's a bad habit. That habit we need to cut out. Bad habits are very bad for anybody that's an entrepreneur, or even just in personal life. So create yourself something, even on a piece of paper. Write down your 3 goals today, your 3 to-do lists, the things that you need to do today to reach those goals. And by planning the night before for the next day, it's a great thing. It's amazing, because you kind of know what you need to do the next day. So you don't stumble upon all these million things and try and still figure out. And then you get to the evening, you're like, oh, you know what? I forgot to do these 3 things. They become tomorrow's 3 things, and tomorrow you've got 6 things to do. And eventually you're so overwhelmed with all these million things you need to do, you're not getting there. So structure and organization is key to becoming what you need to become one day. If it's a business, an entrepreneur, if it's a mentor for someone, structure is key.
I mean, you touch on the issue of overfeeding yourself or overwhelming yourself with things that you need to do in a certain particular day. A lot of people feel it's a danger to sort of limit yourself, or feel that you need to push yourself extra hard to achieve your goals. But then you run a risk of overwhelming yourself. and you end up losing track of the end goal.
Correct. So what I've experienced in life before is that when I try and do too much in a day, I kind of get sidetracked, and then I start doubting the task at hand. So then I will basically be like, okay, what if I do this instead of this? And then I will literally get stuck in the thing that's not important. Like, for example, if I design my branding for my company, I will say, okay, today I need to do a logo. And then I get to the logo, I'm like, okay, but what if I do a signature? Okay, now I need to register an email account. So now I'm doing things that is sidetracking me from designing my branding for my company, things that are not important at this stage. And then basically I lose track of where I need to go forward. So this is, I know it's for some people, they feel they can do 10 things a day. You know, you need to do that what you are comfortable with. And I think for a starting point, to do just 3 things. I believe in the rule of 3. It's the 3 most important things. And we start working from there, and then we start building from there. And this is why we need to sit and identify, because in life, we've got 4 different types of goals. We've got your stepping stones, which are your small daily activities, which we do to do and keep ourselves busy during the day. You've got your short-term goals, and you've got your long-term goals, and you've got your lifetime goals. Now, to be able to reach a lifetime goal, you need to do the small things in between. We can't just jump to the next one. So this is why I say do 3 things. If you could do 10, do 10. But do not overwhelm yourself with the amount of tasks, because there are days that you can't do 10 and you can only do 5, and then you're breaking yourself down because you are failing yourself. So rather do what you can. And if you can do another one, it's okay. But tomorrow go back to just doing what you can. So it's kind of like a thing, like I said, there are days, your day is never according to the way you planned it. You know, assess yourself, you know, today you'll be like, okay, today I've got these things to do. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call, you need to get in your car, you need to go somewhere else. So then your half of your day is messed up.
Right. So I get this idea of overwhelming and the idea of structure, order. How about the idea of community platforms where you sort of build this community of aspiring or up and coming business individuals, where ideas are shared, where you sort of feed off each other, you know, as much as people would say, I can't share my idea with this group of people because my idea will be stolen. Are there any dangers, though, of belonging to a community or building a network of aspiring business individuals?
Oh, that's a great point you're putting. You know, when we started off with our Justice 4.0, we had the same fear. You know, we are the first, and we still are the first in our market. We are very much ahead of where the rest are. We've been to Istanbul, we've been online to Egypt, you know, presenting our idea. And in the beginning, we felt that, what if we give too much information that someone will steal my business? You know, venture capitalists and angel investors can be very dangerous. You know, if they find something good, they might say, oh, I'm not investing in you, and tomorrow they steal your idea. So honestly, that's a very good point. I believe that just give enough. You know, you can't trust anybody. I don't even trust my brother, and no offense to him if he's watching, but I only trust him as far as I see him. You know, we're family, you know, but I think when people see a good opportunity, they will take it if they've got the funds, because they know that when you're approaching a community for help, people know that you don't have something. If it's funding, if it's support, if it's a person in your company you're short, they know this. And, you know, I believe don't give too much information. You need to just give enough. If it's let's say, for example, it's an app. You are developing a mobile app or a web application. Give the people what it's about and how it improves and what is the problem it solves and how it solves it. Don't give them how the back end of your system works. Don't give them the code of your app, and then they can develop it themselves. The how-to is supposed to be your secret, but the problem and the solution it's solving, you can give to people. And working in a community, yes, it is a dangerous environment, because you've got You've got people that are schooled, and you've got people that are not schooled, and then you've got people that have money, and you've got people that don't have money, and then you've got people that have got skills that don't have the money. You know, you've got different kind of people in a community, and you know, the best advice I can give there is to find people in your community that can work with you, that will share the same passion, that will share the same drive you have. If someone has the same passion for what you are doing, I would say take them on board. But remember, always, and this is a very important thing, keep a contract, which is called a non-disclosure agreement, in place. That will give you some kind of security and safety when it comes to your business idea. This is something that can give you 5 years of protection, up to 5 years. Sometimes they can give you unlimited, but it can give you up to 5 years of protection for your business idea if you do take on a partner. Don't just go blindly and be like, okay, you can become my partner because we had a beer together and now we are becoming partners. That's not how it works. When we are doing business, you have to have the right things in place.
Okay, we've got David Malotzi who says, Natasha, trust is earned also.
Yes.
How critical is trust, though? I mean, you've said it clearly that let's say you're developing an app. You know, you can give the people what the app seeks to sort of cover, or what it seeks to gap, you know, because when you develop something, it means that you've realized that there is a certain gap in the market, and you're bringing this new technology to sort of ease that problem, or to sort of bridge, become that bridge without giving the code, because you give me a code, I'll go and develop it and stuff like that. But how is trust critical, and how is trust built? Okay, well, let's put it this way. Trust is not given from day one. We all are very, we look at people from a distance, and especially what I've noticed is people from the same gender don't trust each other often. You know, males will trust females and females will trust males more, where males and males don't trust and females don't trust. For some reason, I think it's kind of because we feel intimidated by our own gender. So trust is earned by being open. Communication is key when trust needs to be earned. Communication is it's the foundation for any relationship. Being it a relationship, being a friendship, being it a business relationship, communication is key. If there's no communication, trust cannot be built. It needs both parties need to be open-minded, and it needs to be open-minded at a point where we cannot hide things from one another. You know, if I'm not happy with you and what you are doing, it's my responsibility to come to you and say to you, I'm not happy with what you are doing. I'm not happy with how you are approaching people. I'm not happy with how you are selling my business. And the person that receives this criticism is not allowed to take this offensive, because they need to show you that I can trust that person. And if I can't trust you by giving you my honest opinion, I should not be trusting you from the beginning. And I think as well, people need to think of other people as well. You know, trust is a very big thing. You know, trust is a scary thing, because I believe as soon as your trust has been broken in one person in life, you are not going to be trusting other people. And it will be harder for you to trust them and believe them. Because if someone has lied to you once in your life, what's the chances of the next person not going to do the same? And I think the best way to overcome that as a person that's entering in someone's life that doesn't trust people is to prove to them that you are not the same person. Do things right. To do things right, trust is earned. To be honest, trust is earned. And to communicate openly, trust is earned. And no judgment. You know, judgment is to me is like trust. You know, people are not allowed to judge you because they don't know where you've been, where you come from, and what you had to do to get to where you are today. Judgment is like trust. If you judge a person, I don't trust you, I don't want to be part of your life. If you judge me by just looking at me, I don't have an interest in you. That's just my opinion. And I think that's another thing that's important when it comes to trust. No judgment, because we don't know where people have come from, or what they've had to endure
to get to where they are today. So another thing, judgment needs to be, you need to have a judgment-free space to be able to build trust on people.
Is it not in the human race nature to be judgmental? I meet you for the very first time today, and the first thing is at the back of my mind is I'm already judging. Should I trust? Will it work with Natasha? Are we having the same goals? Do we see the same picture? And will this work? So from the get-go, we already start judging. Now that we know that we are that species that is judgmental, how do we then begin to coexist in the business space and say, you know what, let's take the bull by the horn and let's see where it takes us? Is there a danger to it?
There is. I think we are all brought up in different ways. We were brought up in our own beliefs. What our grandmothers and their grandmothers believe, we as people believe as well. And it's got to do with our beliefs when we grew up. And to change someone's belief, it's a difficult task. You can only change your belief if you are willing to move forward. And I've noticed and seen from a lot of younger people, our current youth, there's a lot of them, see it on social media, you see it on the news. They want that change. They want to move away from the beliefs they were put in when growing up. And so the easiest way to not to judge someone is just give them that chance. I know trust is a big issue, but sometimes we need to take that leap of faith and say, you know what, I'm going to give this person 30 minutes of my time. And I'm going to say, I will just be open-minded for this person for 30 minutes, and I'm going to see what this person's about. And I think asking the right questions is very important. We need to ask those questions. Don't ask them direct questions. You can ask them just random conversational questions, so you can see that kind of personalities. I know a lot of people hide who they are, and that's very scary because I've come across people that today they're the most wonderful people, and tomorrow they're stabbing me in the back. But I believe everybody deserves a chance to prove themselves. And as I've gone through business myself, I know that the first minute that you speak to someone, that's the most important minute, because that's when that person you're speaking to will know who you are. They will get the sense of who you are, because we've got this nature in us to pick up on people's anxiety. We pick up on people's real and honestness. If we just open ourselves up and be like, okay, let me just give this person a chance, you will kind of start feeling this, oh, this person is not for me. Oh, wow, this person we can give it a chance. Oh, wow, this person is great. I think sharing the same energy with someone that someone else has. So, like, for example, I'm a very bubbly person. I'm very energetic, and I've got a person that's the same as I am. It could be good, it could be bad. Sharing the same energy could be a good thing because we could be both motivated, but sharing the same energy, we can clash as well, because there are times that I would just want to sit back and just relax and have a fruitful meeting. This person will be all over, So it's all, at the end of the day, it's all about feeling the person when you meet the person for the first time. And your first instinct is never wrong. You always need to go with your gut feeling. Your gut feeling, people say, oh, my gut says no, but I'm really going to do it. Don't do it. Go with your gut feeling, because that gut feeling is it's the truest feeling. And I believe going against your gut, there will be disappointment. But if your gut says don't. Let me put it that way to you.
Okay, I think you've shared some interesting facts. David has come back, says, wow, thanks a lot. Made so much sense now. That was a mouthful, Natasha. Very insightful. I guess we need to have a Natasha quarter, where you come in and you give us insightful conversations in the mornings, because there is a huge market for such conversation, especially when you're looking at business conversations or entrepreneurship or mentorship conversations. A lot of people out there are looking for mentors, and the market is huge. and we cannot fulfill it on our own. So by opening up conversations to a whole lot of other people, it sort of helps spread the word, helps cover that gap that is there. And when we look also, Natasha, at the idea of the 1873, we've embarked on this initiative called C2C initiative. I think you've had chats with Mr. M regarding the C2C community. Have you had chance to put thought to it, and how best you can also play your part?
Well, I know Mr. M very long. I think we know each other for 12 years. I met him when I was very young, though, and he's such an inspirational man to me. He's someone at his age that has so much energy. To me, it's kind of like, how would I be like him when I'm his age? He's always the way he speaks and the way I think he should run for president, if I can honestly say to you.
Mr. M for president, eh?
Yes, there we go. He's amazing. He's a truly amazing man. He's our next Nelson Mandela. I'm telling you, the stuff he says, it's such an inspiring thing, and the way he moves, through people, and the way he inspires them, and the way he works with them, to me, it's truly amazing that the job he does does it very well. And he's also had a lot of personal experiences, and he has had ups and downs, and I believe life has given him a real run for his money, but he's learned from it, and he's inspired me through his stories and his experiences. And I think that what he's doing with the C2C community is great. We need an online presence, an online community where people from all sectors can come together and work together. And I fully agree with him. We cannot be doing this thing for free. We need to put a value to it, because people will appreciate it more if we put a value to it. If everything was for free, then we won't be sitting in the situation where we are now in COVID-19. But I know that sometimes times are tough, and you do need kind of mentorship, or you need some legal advice, or you need some financial advice or things, and you don't have the money for it. But you know what? We all are human, and we all can put ourselves in those people's shoes, and we understand where they are coming from. And there are ways to work around it. People should never feel, if I don't have the money, I cannot get the help. That's not true. We need to change that mindset. If we don't have the money, like for me, I'm a life coach, come to my Facebook page, communicate with me, say to me, Natasha, I don't have money, but I need you to listen to my problem and see if there's a way we can put goals together to achieve my solution. You know what? I'm always willing to help. I'll walk on the road down the shopping center, and I'll see a man counting his coins to try and figure out, is he going to feed his family bread, or is he going to feed his family meat, for example? If I have a 50 Rand note in my wallet, I will give it to this gentleman, because tomorrow when I have a flat tire, he might have walked past me and be like, I will help you change your tire. We help each other in our own ways. And I think as a community together, yes, we need to do it. We need to put a value to it. But some people don't have the needs or the means to be able to afford that value. But they will be most grateful for when they receive that value. They will help. Then they can help their community who don't have the means with whatever they receive from our side. And like I said, a community is not something we need to be taking each other for granted. A community is where we need to stand together as one unit, a unit to move, embrace, and motivate each other to become the better who we are now. And I think that what you guys are doing with this community is great. And I'm really so want to be part of this community, because I feel that I can add so much value through, little podcasts or short videos people can go and have a look at, because these are things that the questions. And what I actually wanted to discuss with Mr. M was, people need to put questions down so we can answer these questions, because you can go online, you can put a question in Google, but Google's going to give you a million articles you need to go through, and they all say a different thing, and they just don't give you the answer. And by putting the question down, even anybody else in the community. I see we've got a few other mentors and life coaches in the community as well. Even if we could put a question down, anybody, one of them can answer the question. It could be a discussion, and you might not take what is discussed and do what you were supposed to do with it, but you will get an idea from it. An idea can be born. So I think the community is great. It's something we need to help each other and move together as a unit. And there needs to be more of these communities out there, and doesn't need to just be for South Africa. I think this community can grow into Africa. It can grow it can go international, because we all are human. We all are born the exact same way. Nothing makes us different. Doesn't matter how much money we've got, or where we come from, or what we are, or what we do. We all are born. We are put on earth the same way. We're all going to go. We're going to leave earth the exact same way. Nothing makes us different. And I think we need to understand we all are human, and we all have certain needs. And if we can help each other to achieve those needs and fulfill those needs, why not?
Yeah, I see when you say communities don't need to only be in South Africa, and we are blessed because we live in a digital era, and the COVID pandemic has actually made us realize that we really don't need to meet up face to face. These technologies have been there. Your Zooms, your Skypes, your StreamYards, they've always been there, but most would not have seen the need to use, because people believe that the one-on-one meeting, where you're sitting across the table from me, then we can have an impactful conversation, or we can come to decisions. Why I'm saying so is the idea of building these virtual communities where we've got the C2C clusters, let's say in all the 54 countries in Africa, where we've got representatives that become, or that take charge of those small clusters all over the continent. We can sort of create a huge movement, of encouraging people and showing people that community building is critical and community building is important. And we can sort of feed off each other by building these communities. You see, we've got F.A. Joyce Marks, who says, thank you so much for this. I'm grateful. We are relaunching our digital agency called Jewwealth Digital Hub. Please, how can our become our brand? I think, or maybe how can you become our global brand? I guess you've had an impact on Joyce there. She wants to make you a brand, a global brand ambassador. Yeah, we'll be calling you. We'll be calling you Ambassador Natasha. Eh?
You know what? I'm always open. And I believe that we all deserve a success. It's such a thing close to my heart. A lot of people say, Natasha, you wear your heart on your sleeve. I've got this need where I need to embrace people. I've got such an interest, since a young person, I had such an interest in people, old people, young people, successful, non-successful. And I always try and listen to their stories, because they kind of give you advice, to listen to their stories. If you take it actually to heart, you don't make those mistakes in life. If you see someone spent all their money on luxury stuff and they didn't put it into the business, now their business has failed, you shouldn't be doing that. We need to learn from other people's mistakes. You know what? I'm always open to new opportunities and helping people build their brands and I've got a background in marketing as well, digital marketing. But people can contact me. I can always guide them, and see where we can go from there. And as a woman, we are so embracing women lately. It's very great, but we need to embrace the men behind the women as well. So to me, becoming anything and just changing someone's life it's great for me. And I fully agree with you in the digital age. We are living in a digital age, and we've got this new thing that has recently taken a storm now. Is let's have a virtual coffee meeting, and now people will come up with their coffee mugs and they will sit and they'll have a chat with someone across them with a coffee. So it's a virtual coffee meeting. It's a social meeting. It's a great thing. You know, it kind of takes the whole thing about being alone during this time out, and it kind of puts that social thing back in your mind that you are social and you are interacting with your friend. And yes, we're on COVID. You know, it's a sad time for us. A lot of people are struggling emotionally with this. And mentally, you know, we've seen, you know, people killing their wives and people are committing suicide and these things. And it's such a sad thing, you know, because no one deserves this. You know, we don't deserve to be going through a mental situation like this. Mentally, this is very draining on businesses because, you know, we're stressing about how we're going to afford our companies and salaries and all these things. So, like I said, have coffee meetings with your friends. You know, we are digital now. You know, pick up a phone, go on WhatsApp calling or what's FaceTiming or Skyping, Zooming. There's so many ways of doing this now. Get your coffee ready and sit with your friend or a work colleague or even a random person from LinkedIn or from Facebook. Just say to a person, could we have a coffee meeting? You know, could we just have 30 minutes and just chat about anything? You know, let's get to know each other. You know, that is what we need to be doing. Because we are digital now. We're going to be like this for a very long time. So let's get used to it. And, you know, even in our communities, I just wish that Mr. M would create something where we can talk to other members in this community. Maybe we could get a Facebook page going where everybody that's part of this community could be a friend there. And we can communicate with each other. You know, pick a person today, any person. Send them a message and say, could you meet me for a coffee meeting at 11 o'clock for half an hour? You know, we are living in a stage where I think people would say yes, because it's a nice way of getting to know your people in your community. Now, who knows? We might build our next billionaire or our billionaire couple from the community. We don't know. You know, it's something worth trying. But like I said, like I fully agree with you. We are digital, and this is how we're going to move forward. And we need to build our digital communities because even after this pandemic, we will still be relying a lot on digital. And if we get used to it now, it will be easier as we go along and we get as life goes on.
Correct. Right. Those that would like to be part of this digital community, Joyce, you can inbox me on LinkedIn. I think we are connected on LinkedIn. You can drop your contacts on LinkedIn. Let's chat and let's see if we can build that. Let's build that digital community and let us grow the C2C initiative. And you start running the C2C cluster in Nigeria. I think that's where you are. David, also, you can drop your tens. Let's get in touch. And to those that have been following on our social media platforms on Facebook and Twitter, thank you so much. Keep those questions coming. You can also drop us your contact numbers. Then we'll also add you onto these digital platforms that have been created or communities so that we can find synergies from each other. And let's feed off each other's energies and let's have a cup of coffee digitally.
Here we go.
Exactly. I think the next time we do a show, we should have coffee, you know?
Exactly. Some cake or some biscuits or something. Or maybe we could do a breakfast.
Yeah, we should do breakfast, yeah.
Exactly. You know, sky's the limit. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. So we able to open up and have these digital conversations on radio. If you're interested also in joining us for the next broadcast, please do indicate. We will share the StreamYard link that will enable you to get into the show, participate, add your views, ask questions. We'll try by all means to answer them to our best of our ability. If not, we'll always find in other people that will always be able to assist, jump in and help with answering some of the questions that we're not able to answer. But hey, nothing is impossible. And Natasha, I gotta say thank you so much for your time this morning. Until next time.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye, everybody. And keep a positive note. And remember your digital coffee.
All right, awesome. 10:45 is yours and our time on the 1873 FM. Hoping you enjoyed the conversation. If you did, then please drop us a message. If you are on our social media platforms, inbox us and we'll reach out to you at the 1873 FM. That's on Facebook as well as on Twitter. Those on LinkedIn, you can also inbox me your contact numbers or your email addresses. I'll be getting in touch so that we can build this virtual community together, and let's have these breakfast conversations, and at the same time we can start a show called thanks, David. He says, thank you so much, Stanley and Natasha. It was really amazing. Maybe we can start a show, Coffee and Biscuits. You're on to something, David. Let's talk about it. Coffee and Biscuits. Yeah. Let's have that show. It's a round table conversation with everybody from four corners of the world. So until next time, you have yourselves a wonderful morning. Keep on keeping on and get activated.
Welcome to the 1873 Nerd Galaxy.
The whole music, the whole atmosphere.
You have to experience it to believe it.
It's just epic.
Activate your brain.
Американская фирма Transceptor Technology.
Status activated.
Affirmative.
Be ready to be stimulated.